Hi guys, got my chuck roast. It's about a 4 kilo chuck roast, this one. I'm going to take out just some of this harder fat, but in general I'm just going to leave it since we're going to cube it up later. I'll apply a little bit of oil. A cut of meat like this is really good for pulling or cutting into cubes, making them squishy. Next best thing to a good brisket. Now apply your rub, whatever rub that you like with a heavy beef. So any of your brisket rubs, just salt and pepper, anything along those lines. It's something to create a pretty good bark. Today I'm using the B&B's Trinity rub. Adding a little bit of what's your beef. Give it a good pat. I'm just going to let that sit, bring a bit of the moisture out, let all of it bind onto there, probably about 20 minutes, and it's going to go onto the smoker. The smoker is going to be running at 275 Fahrenheit today, so about 135 to 140 degrees Celsius, and we're going to run that all day at that temperature. Okay, our barbecue's getting up closer to temp. I'm after about 275, a little bit over will be good. As you can see, I've just closed down all of the vents and you can see the smoke coming out still. That smoke's too heavy for my liking. I'm going to wait until it basically goes clear so you can't see it. Then we'll be putting it in. No dirty smoke on the meat, just totally clean smoke, and it will pick up that cherry flavour that I put in there. We've got about 4 chunks of cherry that's off from the fire. So that's that soft blue smoke that I was talking about. Now it's time to get that meat in. It will no longer be a dirty flavour or an acrid flavour, it's going to be a soft tasting flavour. All barbecues should be very similar in the smoke level. There are some exceptions to the rule, but in general that's the type of smoke that you're looking for. Alright, the smoke has gone completely clear in the smoke. I can still smell the cherry smoke coming out of it, but obviously it's completely clear. That is what you're looking for out of a machine like these. Going to put that in the middle. You can see all the moisture that's been drawn out by the salts. The actual barbecue set up indirectly, so I've got a diffuser plate in there, fire underneath. Smoke's obviously coming up and around, and as said before, smoked over cherry wood. I'm just going to close this down until a really good bark, heavy bark, forms up on this piece of meat, probably at least 4 hours, and then we'll go from there. The piece of meat's been on now for nearly 4.5, going on 5 hours. It's actually set quite a solid bark on the outside. I shouldn't say solid, but quite a dark bark on the outside. I'm going to take that off, put it in the pan and go to the next stage. As you can see with this chuck roast, there's a big fat vein that goes through the middle of it, in between the 2 pieces of muscle there. I'm just going to cut it apart, it'll basically separate itself. It is a large piece of meat, this is about 4 kilos. So half of it I'm going to just pull and have for sandwiches later on. The other half I'm going to cube up, which is what we're doing today in this video. So the first things first, I want the cubes to be basically an inch by inch by inch. So slice it up. It doesn't matter which way you go with this, so just slice it up. Then I'm going to cut it in half and then I'm going to form the cubes. once you've cut it up in cubes, place it into an aluminium tray or a baking tray of some sort. I'm using an enamel tray on this one. Now pour over your sauce. What I've done is heat it up into a pan, part stock, my favourite barbecue sauce or whatever barbecue sauce goes well with it. So I'm using the Cosmos Q competition sauce, added a bit of brown sugar, a little bit of butter to it, and all I've done is heated it up because I don't want to put cold liquid onto hot meat. Now I'm pouring a little bit of extra of the Cosmos competition sauce over the top. I'm going to mix it over and then cover it with aluminium. Put the foil over, nice and tight. Basically going to create a steam bath in there now. Now I go back on the smoker. And they'll stay on there until they're ready. And then I'll caramelise them up. They'll stay on there until they're ready. So probably at least another 2 hours from here. Back on the barbie they go. Now they've been steaming away for about 2 hours. I'm going to see what they're like. I've got a metal skewer and what I'm just doing is pushing into it and seeing how soft and tender the actual meat is. If you listen closely, you'll hear the bottom of the pan actually dink every time I push through. There's no resistance whatsoever as I'm pushing the skewer through. These are really, really soft and delicious in here. Okay, all we're going to do is I'm going to stir them around a little bit, get them all coated, and then just leave the and close the lid, leave them exposed over 20 minutes, and the sauce will reduce right down and glaze them right up. And then dinner will be ready. Oh, the kids can't wait for this one. Even this big kid, he's hanging. It's been a while since I've had these. Definitely give it a go, guys. Okay, we're back. Just take them off the smoker, put them all into one bowl. They've got good colouring to them. They look pretty good. They're still rather hot. They're still rather hot. What I was saying about the squish test, that's what I mean by the squish test. They need to be very tender. And they're all the same. They just all want to fall apart. So obviously just wants to fall apart. These are worth doing, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. Hope you give them a go. Thanks, guys.